if the tasks in the journal could give me an indication of what to do next up. Okay. Werewolf Hunter. Okay, Molly's mech. Okay, I've agreed for an upgrade on my leg augmentation. Turns out Gordon Gray is a surgeon for the hounds, and I'll find him at the apothecary. Right, we could do that. One man's treasure. Right, that's discarded parts. Need for speedy money. Pay Babcock a visit later. Right. That's the bet. And then Molly's mech. Visit Gordon Gray. Oh, right, and that's also... Right, Molly's mech is the upgrade. We can do that. I don't know if that ends the day. I guess we'll see. Werewolf Hunter is also Molly. I think that probably won't end the day, I assume. We can do that first. It would also go well for the bet, seeing if we won that, or if we're unlucky in the second of the occasions as well. St. Catherine Docks. Let's go there real quick. Go to the tavern, and I'm gonna quickly have a sip of water. Much better. Okay. Let's enter the tavern. And let's see. Okay. Jemmy isn't here. And, what was his name? Iron Bear isn't here either. Let's take a look at the betting station. Lo there. Wager, you're here to see how your bet fared. Let's hear it then. Sorry, but your bet proved to be a flop. Maybe you'll get lucky next time. Damn. That's a shame. Okay, Molly. There's one small item I want to discuss before we talk about your contract. Your sabotage of my gin distillery. Go on, I've been waiting all day to hear this one. It was an illegal operation and I stopped it. I'll not apologize for that. Molly is quiet for an unsettlingly long time. No snake ever looked more menacing. Then her eyes flicker at the nearest dockhound. The dastard winds up and gives Otto a hard kick, but luckily he can't do any damage that way. Oh dear, I hope you have not injured your foot. Try that on me, coward. I'll make a hole in you big enough to sit down in for tea. Cross me again and your little tin sidekick might get hurt. That much scrap must be worth a couple shillings. Now we can talk business. It looks like it takes her great effort to retrack her train of thought. Notably, she seems resentful for it. I can't tell if she resents me or herself more for losing her composure in the first place. So, Mr. Redgrave. How's hunting? I've no complaints. Heard you have a job for me. Not bad. Be a damn sight better if my targets would hold still. Let's go with the second one. Haha. You're here about the job, no doubt. It's a werewolf hunt. That's a specialty of yours, yes? Standard job, standard rate. Her insistence on the word standard doesn't ring true. As you know, I often host gambling events at the basement of the tavern I often host gambling events in the basement of the tavern, pit fighting of all kinds. You want a werewolf brought here in good shape for a pit fight? I'm well aware, but if that's your angle, then I charge a fee for delivery. You want a werewolf brought here for a pit fight? That's right, so don't rough him up or let him transform before he arrives. Pit fights are brutal enough, but to bring a werewolf into it invites a massacre. I shudder to think of the outcome. A live capture and delivery is hardly a standard job. What if he transforms before I can restrain him? Molly, this is a tricky job. I'll have to somehow restrain him without making him angry, or else he'd transform and eat me alive. Let's go with the first one here. I've arranged for a powerful tranquilizer. Using that, an experienced hunter like yourself shouldn't have to break a sweat. Sounds dear. How about an advance for the pharmaceuticals? I'll need a heavy dose and it has to be high quality. You expect me to pay for it out of pocket? Let's go with the second one here. Thought of that too. Just go to the apothecary and have Gordon charge it to my account. Alright, who's the lucky contestant? And you have a particular bloke in mind for this fight of yours? I'll go with the second one. Aye, that'll be Sykes. He's hiding out from the coppers who want him for questioning on the courtesan killer murders. But if they get him first, they'll rough him up and he won't be any use to me. Up against the coppers, eh? Then I say bring it. When it comes to coppers, it pays to see it their way first, then shift the perspective. The blue banders won't be any trouble for me. I tend to have a way of getting level with those types. I guess I'll go with the third one. I don't know. Searching for a police suspect isn't a crime. Dolores at the laundry has a second-hand police uniform. Dwarf-sized, in fact. Ah, Dolores. I'm sure she'll make me jump through some kind of hoops to get it. If you run into the bobbies, that uniform will help. Offer to sing the Fields of Athenry for Dolores, and she'll give it up for nothing. An Irish folk song based on the Great Famine of the 1840s. Although, if I'm caught out, it could mean a drubbing. I guess a beating. Yes. Those blue banders are awful proud of their vines, which is odd considering their complete lack of fashion sense. Take this too. If the bobbies really pin you down and there's no way out, just hand it over. It's only for emergencies, mind. I prefer you don't have to use it. Molly's envelope, okay. How am I supposed to find this Sykes fellow? Here you are, Redgrave. Spoiled for choice. Ask at the Rose, the Pet Broker in Surrey Square, and that Centaur fellow who's often in the square as well. Spoiled isn't the word I would have chosen. Why the Pet Broker? Sir Willard sees a lot of action in Surrey Square, and when he's not harping about his chipmunks and otters, he's a regular in the gambling dens as well. Sykes is known to round out his vices at the tables. Why the Velvet Rose? Because our hirsute friend is a regular customer there. Place is like a merchant bank for the laboring man. Everyone goes straight there with their pay packet to make a deposit. Let's ask about the family. Is Mr. Sykes likely to have friends or family about? Anyone who would kick up a fuss? Don't worry about allies. He's a loner like most of his ilk. What's more, he's had a falling out with his employer, meaning his income is cut off. Whatever bolt hole he's scuttled into, it won't be safe for long. What employer is that? Well, great. It's a good start. What employer is that? Oh, that's this aggravating chap who's a decent man of science, but certainly not top shelf. Any road, he's not germane to the conversation. Suffice to say that Sykes' back is against the wall. What about the Centaur? I don't remember the chap's name, but he's often loitering in Surrey Square. He's been nosing around in police business, and rumor has it he's taken an interest in the same crime they want Sykes for. Understood. Apothecary for tranquilizer, laundry for uniform, and half of London to ask about a runaway werewolf. Anything else? I'm delighted you asked. Your reputation for thoroughness is well earned. As for the pit fight, a tussle with an actual werewolf naturally demands a worthy opponent. And who's the poor sod she has in mind? You'll earn a stiff bonus if you can enlist Atticus Daly for the bout. He's a hulking Minotaur given to brooding. I am certain you've seen him skulking about town. He's the chap with his own personal rain cloud that follows wherever he goes. I don't know that he'll want to get involved in this. I know Atticus, but getting him on board in your business, I'll have my hands full with But getting him on board is your business. I'll have my hands full with Sykes as it is. I don't know that he'll want to get involved in this. He will if he knows what's good for him. Molly's clearly up to something, and I can't say I care for it. Taking a dangerous werewolf off the streets is one thing, but I'm a monster hunter, not a kidnapper. Sounds like you want him forced to fight. That's not part of the deal. Who said anything about forced? I'm merely offering you a bonus, if you can corral him willingly. If I see him, I promise to tell him about it. Can't promise results though. Either way, I sure wouldn't want to be Atticus Daily right now. Goody. Then you can take this advance for your troubles. You have my every confidence. £1, 2 shillings and 11 pence. Right then, Molly. I'll see you later. Oof, I don't know how I feel about that one, to be honest. Best of luck. Now scoot along, Tempest Fugit, etc. Oh, time flies. Yes, makes sense. I don't know. Pit fighting and all that. Especially the stuff with animals involved. No. I don't know if I want to do that. I don't know if I want to get the werewolf. I think that's probably a bad idea. I don't know if it's a bad idea in like gameplay terms, but like ethically that's horrible. Werewolf hunter. I do want to talk to the people, but I don't know if I'm actually going to go through with it because no, I really don't like the idea of it. So who do I want to talk to? Is anyone here? Werewolf hunter. Search for Sykes. He's hiding somewhere. Get your hands on the police uniform. Acquire tranquilizers. Okay. Molly said to check with the pet broker and the Centaur in Sorry Square and at the Velvet Rose. Okay, so Sorry Square first. I'll talk to them first before I get anything from the apothecary. Let's go to Sorry Square then. Oh, I think actually going through the gate regularly would have been better because then we were right next to the pet broker. That might have been useful. But oh well, we'll get there anyways. It's fine. It's absolutely a-okay. And I think the Centaur is probably nearer to the train station, so I don't know if it actually matters. Let's see then. Oh, we still show up here, not at the train station. Maybe because we stood next to the gate already. Let's go to Pavel's pinfold and see if he can help us out. Let's take a quick look. Wait, is that not the right guy? Oh no, the pet broker, not the rat pet selling guy. The pet broker, I remember that asshole. Yeah. Okay, completely mixed up who I'm supposed to talk to. My bad. Let's run upstairs then. In that case, the train station would have been better. But what can you do? What can you do? Alright, so up here somewhere is the pet broker. Let's talk to him real quick. Where is he? Come on now, pet broker. Show your face. Show your face. There you are, on your ostrich. Let's talk to you then. Mindy? Where are... Oh, hello. Always pleased to make the acquaintance of a fellow dwarf. Aye, name's Teddy Redgrave. Well met. Have we not talked to him? Huh. I am Otto the Automaton. It speaks. Fascinating. Sir Willard Rathbone, at your service. This here's Dulcimer. Does he mean the monkey on the shoulder or the ostrich's riding? I think we've had this dialogue before, right? That's very familiar. No matter, he might as well be referring to an imaginary friend. This fellow's plainly mad. Let's study the ostrich. We need a 3. That's a 7. That works for me. That is a fine specimen of ostrich I see there. I hope you're not feeding him exclusively on seeds. Dicotyledonous plants. Hollystock, for example, helps with their digestion, you know. I do know, sir, I do. But for some reason, I doubt you're here to discuss the digestive habits of Strathioniforms. No, Sir Willard, I am trying to locate a werewolf named Sykes. I have some business to conduct with him. Oh, Sykes, yes. Sykes, of course. I personally find the concept of being half animal utterly fascinating. Imagine the insight one must have into their world. The animal world, I mean. The insight into oneself. But do you know where I can find him? I know that he was involved in a torrid affair with one of the working girls at the Velvet Rose. He mentioned it to me one night during a hand of baccarat. Lycanthropes often have a terrible time with human relationships, but then one can't very well carry on with a wolf now, can you? Can one? No, I should hope not. So you think he might be at the Velvet Rose? Not at all. I haven't the froggiest idea where he might be. That was a pun, you see. I love amphibians. A fine natural example of versatility. Being very limited to places near the water? I don't know about that one. There's the watchful centaur. Let's talk to you, Ives. Hello, what can I do for you? Excuse me, sir, but are you a private detective? Or standing here keenly observing the action in the square? Might you be a detective under your own employ? Let's go with the empathy one. It depends on who's asking, mister. Who's asking? Mr. Teddy Redgrave, this is my associate Otto. Teddy Redgrave, monster hunter extraordinaire. This here is my handmade contraption Otto. No, my associate. I very much appreciate your mustache, good sir. Delightful. It speaks. Thank you, Mr. Otto. You are most certainly welcome. Well, Mr. Redgrave, I can see no sense in concealing my identity to someone who I've already heard is an upstanding monster hunter. The name's Ives Chalamet Duval. It is very nice of you to introduce yourself to us. You seem like a decidedly forthcoming chap. I've heard it bruited about town that you keep a close tab on police business in London. I'm looking for a werewolf chap, Sykes. The police are after him, and a little bird told me you might know something about it. Let's go with the first one. Bruited, voiced loudly. Okay. I was once employed as an inspector with the Met, and I like to keep abreast of their major cases. Having my finger on the pulse, so to speak, is useful in my current employ. Excellent, then perhaps you can help me. There's a werewolf chap the coppers are after, Sykes, and I need to find him first. Yes, I'm familiar with the man in question. Why is it you're after him? I can assure you he's not as guilty as Scotland Yard would have you believe. I have a business opportunity for them. Why are you so convinced of his innocence? I have no intention of turning him over to the Yard or any other authorities. I'll go with the second one. I have access to certain testimony and evidence which I am unable to divulge without the permission of my employer. But as a former police inspector with many years' experience, I assure you my opinion carries weight. I have a business opportunity for him. I have no intention of turning him over to the Yard or any other authorities. I have a business opportunity, I'm just gonna say. It's even the truth from a certain perspective. A man in his position could stand to make some extra dosh, I think. Can you tell me where to find him? I cannot. He's gone to ground. A shrewd move on his part. If Sykes can keep out of sight long enough, the real culprit will hopefully come to light. I've no intention of turning him over to the Yard or any other authorities. Since you don't have him, that doesn't seem to be of great concern. Okay. Thanks for your time. For now, I will bid you good day. If you do find Sykes, I hope you'll consider what I've told you. Take care, Mr. Redgrave. Okay. Next step, I suppose, is going to the apothecary and getting the tranquilizer. I mean, having it around can't hurt. Maybe, you know, if maybe we spare the werewolf and don't bring him in, maybe we could use the tranquilizer in a fight or something. If that ever happens to us again. Let's enter the apothecary and let's see. Also, we shouldn't get the surgery yet because I'm sure that will probably end the chapter. Because, you know, getting surgery puts you out of action for a bit. Eustace Fullivol. Hello, Eustace. Super Ego is saying. This mad bloke again. What did he say his name was? Eustace Fullivol? This man looks no less drugged than when I spoke to him in the Red Lotus. Mr. Fullivol.
Mr. Redgrave, fancy seeing you in this altogether dreadful place. I was just dropping off some of that substance we discussed to Gordon, I presume? Aye, he's been putting my entirely balanced and perfectly safe serum to good use.
Well, Mr. Fullywell, it was rather nice to chat, but
don't let me keep you. I was on my way out anyways. Cheers, Gordon, and good to see you, Teddy.
Quite the character. Okay. Let's talk to Gordon. Mr. Redgrave, what can I help you with? What's that? Wait, why is that overlaid here? I don't know. Straight to business. That's a nice change of pace. Oh, narrator. I don't suppose you'd be willing to part with another flask of laudanum. Narrator? Huh? Weird. I don't suppose you'd be willing to part with another flask of laudanum. Sorry, but customers can only get one flask every week. Empathy, 94. We can get anything but the minus 100. Let's see. That's a 7. That works for me. Forgive my curiosity, but why can't you provide me with another serving? The truth is, I had an incident with another customer to whom I sold a couple of flasks. Long story short, they consumed too much laudanum within a day. So much laudanum within a day that they began stalking me just so he could ask me for more servings. Well, now I've heard everything. It takes on average a week for the drug's side effects to wear off, hence the weekly quota I instituted a while back. I hope you understand my reasoning for all this. Oh, I think you acted accordingly. I'll exercise patience for now. Is there something else you need from me? Let's talk about Fullywell. That Fullywell was an odd chap, eh? Perhaps, but a rather loyal customer. Listen, Mr. Redgrave, word is carried fast about how you dealt with Sucker Jones. Uh-oh. But, you know, I have to tell you something. It was tragic what the serum did to Sucker, but he didn't die in vain. If you like, I can show you what I mean. Now that is intriguing. I've rarely seen Gray show enthusiasm like this. Fellow's typically quite dull. Okay, a mystery, eh? Very well, lead on. Please, it's down here.